Welcome, bass players that are looking for budget instruments. I'm going to start this review by saying my mind's blown, because I cannot, no matter how many times I tell myself what the price point of these basses is, this one and this one, not feel that they are higher value. I just can't. I pick them up and I don't see the price. I don't feel the price. And I remind myself how much they are. And usually a bass in this price range has some sharp frets, or they just don't perform in the way that, I mean, decent beginner instruments, there's beautiful ones from Ibanez, there's Arla and stuff like this. This stuff is a whole other level, and I can't believe the price point. The 4 strings start at $199. I think what we got here is maybe $219 and $239, something like this. Utterly ridiculous. They don't really have a name. They're the Harley Benton JP and JJ. I think this is the JP-55OP or 550P. I don't know, in blue. Let me do this. For years, I've played a Sandberg. Let me show you that bass. Now, I'm not going to say that the Harley Bentons, and I don't think they are based on this. Shape is different. This has humbuckers, active electronics. It is clearly a different beast of a bass. But I have one, and several of my bass students back in the day bought this and are still playing it. This is a workhorse that will be with you forever. It's an amazing bass. I think it's a Ken Taylor basic 5-string. Clocks in at about $1,500, I think. But when I play these Harley Bentons, this always rings in my head. Like, this is very similar. This is like, I don't think this is necessarily where they were going, but it feels like there isn't a big gap between those. And I never thought that was possible. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with something really special for not a lot of money. And I am not saying that because they are paying for me to make this video. If you think that, okay, I'm sorry. But I've played these. I looked at them. And I want to find the problems in this ridiculously low price range, especially with basses. I don't think there's a lot to be found in the lower price ranges in terms of quality. These are changing my mind. And I also have quite a few boutique handmade basses, so I do know the difference between a cheap instrument and a very expensive instrument. So what we have here is, I don't know, this is the JP, because it's got a J and a P. It's ridiculous at this price point. We have a roasted maple neck and fretboard. This seems to be ash, but let me bring up the website and check. Yes, ash. 6-point screwy thingy there. Roasted maple, black dot inlays, 254 millimeter fretboard radius, 864 millimeter scale length. I don't know what that means. 45 millimeters up here. ABS saddle, 24 frets, Alnico, 2 Alnico 5 P&J single coils, volume, balance, and tone. So this is a passive bass. The other one is active. A Wilkinson bridge. How is it a Wilkinson bridge at that price point? On this one with brass saddles, on the other one not. So that's an interesting choice. We got die-cast tuners that do the job. One or two of them have a little bit of play. They're fine. They're not as annoying as cheap guitar tuners. I think you could totally have them on there and use them. They do have a tiny bit of play. It's $239, okay? Chrome hardware, 45 to 125 from the factory, comes in blue, and also this one, they have it in natural, which doesn't look too good, I think. And then something dark, and then white. White's also very nice. I mean, with a tortoise shell, this is just ridiculous. You have a scarf joint right here, rather long, which is normal in a lower price range, of course. The fact that this has a roasted maple neck and fretboard, higher end brands will charge you hundreds upcharge for the roasted maple option. This is only hundreds, the whole thing. It is pretty freaking ridiculous. Let's get some sounds of this, and then we look at the white one, which is the JJ with 2 J pickups. So I'm running this through the Walrus Audio Badwater bass DI and preamp. Leslie's freaking on it, which costs $100 more than the bass. So we have an EQ, which is pretty much, well, I took the highs down a bit and boosted the lows, typical stuff. And there's drive if we need it. There's also a little bit of compression happening, but so the one thing, the single coil is a bit noisy. So you can hear right there. That's here, and that's less noisy. Let's see. Yeah, the computer monitor is the culprit. So you probably wouldn't have that on stage. Let's start right here. Roll that off. In the middle. The low B is immediately there, which is exactly what you're looking for. We're going to go in the back. It gets thinner because it's a single coil in the bridge. I would always just be in the middle, actually. That's where it would be, and it would kick in some of the drive for some 2B ampiness. Give it some rock with a pick. Wow, it's just all there. it for me, it plays like a high-end bass. It's pretty redonkulous. Let's look at the other one. By the way, the weight on them is not as bad as on the Sandberg. They feel lighter. This one is heavier than the blue one. It's $10 cheaper. No, $20 cheaper. For whatever reason, I don't quite understand that, because it's active. It should be more expensive. So we have, let's see, 2 Alnico 5 JB-55 single coils. ABS saddle, 45, it's all the same stuff. Black dot inlays, roasted maple, 6 holesies here. There's the battery, electric cavity. The neck is darker. If you saw it in the slideshow in the beginning, you could clearly see the difference. But also, what a beautiful roasted maple neck. These are actually stickers that you can take off. These are not white. If I had taken the time to take these off, you can see that this is silver right there. But me lazy. That's how that goes. I gotta say, I fucking love the look of this. The white with the pearloid and the roasted maple. I would honestly have 0 issues playing this live versus any of my high-end basses. I would really think it's just a matter of how much weight you want to carry and what color does my outfit demand. Not, this is a Harley Benton and the others are high-end basses. Really. So we got low-end and high-end, as far as I understand, in blend. And so on this, if you're on any of the individual pickups, it is, of course, noisy again. If you're in the middle, quiet as a mouse. Then again, how quiet are mice? I don't know. Don't they go eek? Active preamp, twin tone potty. It's a Ming's BB501 saddle. So that's not, that's maybe why it's cheaper. That's not Wilkinson, and that's not brass. So this is maybe the cheaper element. No idea why they went for this. Same die-cast tuners. Again, they do the job. Are they perfect? No, they got a little bit of play here or there, but they work. 45 to 120. That's interesting, because the other one was 45 to 125. Wasn't it? Wait a second. Yep. It's very interesting that they went with a different gauge. These are, by the way, made in China. It's not Indonesia, not Korea. At this price point, you're getting China, but very, very, very clearly the quality of these factories in China and the quality control that Harley Benton imposes on them, or the quality that they demand from the factories, has gone up a shit ton since Harley Benton appeared on the scene quite a while ago. This is a whole other level. Wow. Subtle black dot inlays on the side, if you can actually see these right there. Sorry. As does the other one. So let's get sound from this. Neck. Again, without the drive, but it's pretty noisy, actually. It's pretty... Nice mid quack in there. Front, the low. So I would really prefer to be in the middle because it's less noisy, and I'm always on the bass. Just, I have one setting. That's both of them equally. It's just me. Oh, that's freaking it. It's that low B that needs, where you know that a good bass is a good bass when that is there immediately with the same kind of fullness that the other strings have. And it freaking, I'm distorting here. Let me dial that back a bit. I'm kicking in active preamp here bass now. All the way, that's a little bit much there. And the top end. Let's drive that a bit with the Badwater. Pick it. Wrong string. Okay, look, bottom line is, ouchie. But bottom line is, this is a fantastic instrument for 219 euro. The blue one, passive. I would like to tame the noise a little bit, because on the middle position, which is where I want to be, that there isn't any hammer noise canceling. So I might want to work on the electronics, maybe change the pickups a little bit, but it's most certainly 100% worth the 239, and I really like the blue. This in the middle, noise-free, what an amazing instrument for a beginner, for the 4-string guy that wants a 5-string, for the 5-string guy that wants a second bass, for the humbucker 5-string guy that wants a bass on stage where he's got single coils. I mean, there's so many reasons to get this as your first bass, your backup bass, your I take it to a gig and I don't care what happens to it bass, or just get it because you actually want it. And it's so freaking cheap that you could buy this here or there, like you would buy a pedal or a Bockwurst. Well, it's a little bit more than a Bockwurst, but holy crap, 219 for this quality of instrument. Up till now, I was going to say up till a few years from now, up to a few years ago, no, up till now, I didn't think was possible, especially for basses. Harley Benton recently has upped the game with basses, with the Marquez, that was. A Marquez 5-string, kind of weird shape, but holy crap did it deliver. And these do as well, for even less money. It's utterly ridiculous. And if you think I'm being paid to say that, screw off, I'm not. I'm being paid to do the job. This job requires a lot of time and equipment and knowledge and all that stuff. And that's what they're paying me for. Watch other Harley Benton videos of mine where I, tear stuff apart and say, that's not good. That stuff exists. And those videos exist. But if they sent me something good, they sent me something good. Also, sometimes you might think, and I might think, they sent me something that's QC'd especially for me, and I get the creme de la creme and the good ones. Well, not really. Just got a guitar that, almost made me bleed here. You can still see it's a little bit red after days of playing it because there's a screw that's totally jagged. They don't send me the good stuff. That would never happen if someone actually checks the stuff and says, we sent Henning the really good ones. No, this is off the line. You can get something off the line from Harley Benton with a crappy screw like I did. You just pack it back up, send it right back. Get another one. Hopefully, it's better. You might also actually get something that's lighter or heavier than the one that you had, because in this price range, weight, that's why I'm not weighing this, is a wide range. So if you don't like the weight, send it back. Get another one. 100% freaking recommended. Links below. Please use them. That really, really helps. And if you haven't subscribed, why the fuck haven't you subscribed yet? Please do it. That really helps me. And helps some animals. I have some at the end.
The coldest night of my life, I feel let down. It's no surprise, this Hollywood you never showed. There's Nifty seat next to me, 6:30. She's late, it seems. The coffee's cold. It's no surprise, this Hollywood you never showed. I held my breath just for you. In Hollywood, she's invisible tonight. I held my breath just for you. When you don't care, you don't exist. Good night. It's 8 o'clock, I'm getting late. My hopes were high, I need a change. I thought of you for 6 months straight. This Hollywood you never showed.